My name is Sarah, and my social entrepreneur focus is on the homeless population in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'd like to preface this by saying that I did research on whether or not the term to use is houseless or homeless, and what I learned from that was the majority of people use either term to describe themselves as an individual, and it's hard to use as a term for an entire population. But due to the sake of the assignment and that in the assignment directions it says homeless, that is the term I'll be using throughout my work. But I do understand the importance of using either one. So first, to summarize my data, the community of Grand Rapids has a growing homeless population in our community due to COVID-19, despite the fiercely cold winter months. Grand Rapids has a 22.4% population of individuals living below the poverty line, with 33% of children living below the poverty line. According to Vasquez et al. In 2018, there are over 800 homeless people in the greater Grand Rapids area, and more than half of those people are families with children. According to Mel Trotter in 2018, the fastest growing populations of homelessness in West Michigan are single women, families with children, people of color, and unaccompanied youth ages 18 to 24. Typically, our community's homeless population doesn't include upper middle class, double income families. However, due to COVID-19, our community is seeing an influx of a homeless population, and there's still a shortage of resources to support them. So, some of the data that stands out to me and really challenged my thinking was that there are more than 800 people in Grand Rapids that are homeless. So, it really surprises me because I hadn't realized how forefront this issue is in our community. Growing up in Southern California, unfortunately, I had grown used to having the homeless population be a part of our community. But taking into consideration that in Southern California, it's warmer, and at the time there was not a pandemic at large, so it was more livable. Not safe in a lot of cases, but livable. So that was something that really stuck out to me, and really started to push my thinking towards this being a focus for social entrepreneurship. And elements of the community scan that really surprised me was how many individuals there are that are homeless in Grand Rapids, and that because of COVID, a lot of the shelters and food banks have been closed down because of businesses closing, and then to branch off of that, places of respite like public libraries, coffee shops are also closed. So there's a large influx of the homeless population that already existed, and then people that are now joining the homeless population because of COVID and losing their jobs. And there's even less resources than there was, less places for them to go. And so that was something that really surprised me and brought a sense of urgency to this issue for me. And then a connection to empathy and social enterprise, in this case, is when I was watching a lot of the news broadcasts about this issue in Grand Rapids. Often people were, other community members were saying that it's a nuisance. The restaurants that are open there's transient population everywhere, and it's making it less desirable for them to go and things like that. And it's looking at it from an empathetic perspective would really eliminate that whole feeling that it's a nuisance, because they are the ones that are experiencing homelessness when the weather is 23 degrees outside as the high of the day, and are exposed to all elements, including a global pandemic. So I think encouraging the community to look at it from an empathetic perspective is really important when discussing this topic. And the overall reflection for me in the community scan process is doing this assignment really brought a lot of a sense of urgency for me. And there was a quote from Martin and Osberg, 2007, where that really gave me words to describe how I was feeling. So now I feel that this issue is so much more urgent than I'd realized, and I'm now, quote, seeing embedded in it an opportunity to provide a new solution, product, service, or process. So on that note, that is my focus, and thank you for watching.